The home run ball was in full effect yesterday in Pittsburgh as the Cubs took Paul Skeens deep 3 times. And of course, it has us asking, could Seiya Suzuki potentially hit 30 home runs this season? And on top of that, we also preview the upcoming series starting tonight against those Milwaukee Brewers. But first, gotta hit you with the intro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to see. That's what we needed to see. That's the Chicago Cubs that we've become accustomed to this season. That's absolutely right. The Chicago Cubs go yard 3 different times on the basically probably either the best or second best pitcher in baseball. That's right. The Chicago Cubs go deep against Paul Skeens. That's right. The Chicago Cubs did their thing. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Chicago Cubs Central. It's your boy, Mike Jones, back again here with another episode. Appreciate each and every last one of you that are tuning into these episodes, whether it be on Spotify, whether it be on X, whether it be on Apple, or whether it be right here on YouTube. Appreciate each and every last one of you. We can find all of your Chicago sports here on the Chi-Town Sports Central Family Network. All you gotta do is type in Chi-Town Sports or Chicago, and then type in Chicago Sports Central, and then whatever team you like, and then you'll find us there. Appreciate each and every last one of you that are tuning in and rejoining or joining for the first time the Chicago Cubs Central family. Again, guys, the Chicago Cubs came out yesterday. It was an early game. They came out and did what they had to do. The Chicago Cubs had to they needed to win this series against the Pirates. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's just is what it is. They needed to win this series. I figured the Chicago Cubs would win Tuesday, win Wednesday, lose Thursday. Paul Skeens is a tough pitcher, but he has been having some struggles in this sophomore season. People are kind of figuring him out a little bit. And again, he's been taking yard a bunch. Like I said, Paul Skeens, after this game, his ERA has ballooned up to 2.74. Again, and he lost another game, his third game of the season, this time coming to those Chicago Cubs. But yeah, the Chicago Cubs came out and did what they had to do. The Chicago Cubs handled business going up against these Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, I suspected the Chicago Cubs to win this series. I expected the Chicago Cubs to do what they needed to do to make sure that they are staying ahead in the division. And of course, they are now 19-13 on the season. So again, Chicago Cubs just showed some really, really great flashes in this game. One of them being Colin Ray came out and did what he had to do in this game. Did give up a home run to Brian Reynolds in the first, and then Cruz doubled to center, and Davis scored. There was traffic around the bags while he was in the game. However, he was able to keep it to minimal damage. And that's all you can ask for from your starting pitcher. Colin Ray, his ERA for the season right now is 1.46. Like I said, he has 21 Ks on the season and a whip of 1.05. Again, just being a consistent presence in the Chicago Cubs starting rotation. And again, I mean, this is why you went and brought a guy like him in, because of this, because he could come in and give you solid starts. And once again, guys, he has done that for the Chicago Cubs. He's given them solid starts. And again, this is just a game where, more importantly, our bats got hot. And I don't want to understate this anymore. Dansby Swanson, 2 home runs in the last series. You love to see him coming out of that hitting slump. He went 3 for 4 yesterday. In this game here today, Dansby went 2 for 4. His batting average is up to 213. It had dropped before this series all the way down to 192. So it's good to see Dansby Swanson coming out of that slump. Ian Happ in today's game went 3 for 4. Kyle Tucker went 1 for 4 in today's game, but his one was a home run that he hit. Seiya Suzuki 2 for 4 in today's game, but both of his hits were both home runs sent out of the park. Michael Busch 2 for 5 in this series. His ERA is at 2.82. I'm sorry, 2.82. And then of course Nico Horner went 0 for 4. Pete Armstrong went 0 for 4, and Miguel Amaya went 0 for 4 in this series. However, you are seeing the Chicago Cubs figure it out, bring it back together, and get some of those needed runs that we need from them in order to win these games. And again, sometimes it's the back of the order, sometimes it's the top of the order. No matter what, though, these guys are finding ways to win ball games and win series. And if you win series, that's how you win the division. And the Chicago Cubs have won 7 series so far this season. And again, I mean, that is a recipe to keep you at the top of the division and keep you hopefully in line to win the series. I mean, to win the division when it's all said and done. The Chicago Cubs did their thing today. You also saw Julian Merriweather come into the game. You saw Porter Hodge come into the game, and then the game was finished up with Ryan Presley. It was not a save opportunity because Chicago Cubs had a big eighth inning. I'm sorry, a big top of the ninth inning where Hap doubled to right, and Swanson and Birdie scored off of that, and then Bush singled to right, and Birdie and Hap scored off of that. Yeah, Chicago Cubs just went out and did their thing. They took care of business, won this series like they were supposed to. I would have loved to break out the brooms for a sweep, but I didn't forget. We still gonna fly that W flag. That's right. The Chicago Cubs did win another series. The Chicago Cubs did win another game. So that's right. You know how it is. When the Chicago Cubs win, we fly the W here on this channel. And this has got me thinking, and this is the question of the day. You guys comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Could we potentially see Seiya Suzuki this season step into a Kyle Schwarber role of being able to hit 30 home runs this season? Is that something that you guys think might actually be possible? Not Dansby Swanson. Seiya Suzuki was on a tear in yesterday's game where he literally homered twice. And on the season now, he has 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, a .929 OPS, and a .287 batting average on the year. Seiya Suzuki is finally starting to find his way and show us that elite hitting ability that Cubs players have been telling us about since Seiya came to the team. I think being able to hit behind or sometimes hit in front of Kyle Tucker is a big portion and big reason why Seiya Suzuki is having the success that he's having. I know at the beginning of the season, or when the Cubs first traded for Kyle Tucker and it was said he was going to play right field, I know everybody was saying Seiya Suzuki isn't interested in playing and isn't playing and being the DH. However, I think, better yet, I know Seiya Suzuki's mind has changed about this. I know that he is happy to be DHing behind most days Kyle Tucker because it just opens up a wealth of opportunity for him to be able to have success hitting the baseball. And that's what the Cubs want him to do. They want him to hit the baseball, want him to drive in runs. Seiya Suzuki is being able to do that. And again, the Chicago Cubs need that from him. He is an offensive threat and a long ball threat at that. So at that DH spot, Seiya Suzuki is thriving right now. And it's exciting to see. So between Kyle Tucker and between Seiya Suzuki, those bats have gotten hot. Dansby Swanson starting to find his way, and then Ian Happ just being consistent. And we playing teams and playing against teams and playing away at places that Ian Happ loves to play. He loves playing in Pittsburgh. Like I said, and then I can't wait to get Ian Happ to Cincinnati. But like I said, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, and I truly believe Kyle Tucker will too. They all have success in Pittsburgh, and I believe they also will find that same success in Cincinnati. So yeah, the Chicago Cubs are figuring it out offensively, and it's leading to again more wins. So I'm excited to see what the Chicago Cubs can come up with and what they are doing. So with that being said, our last topic of today, tonight the Chicago Cubs are back at it again after leaving Pittsburgh. They literally flew right into Milwaukee for their next series over the weekend. That's right. The Chicago Cubs will face those Milwaukee Brewers Friday at 7:10. That game is on Apple TV Plus only. And then of course they will face the Brewers Saturday at 6:10, and then they will face the Brewers again on Sunday at 1:10, and then after that they come home to face the San Francisco Giants, and then they are back on the road headed to New York to face off against NL rival the New York Mets. So the Chicago Cubs, there's no week for there was no rest for the weary. They have an important series against the Brewers, who just got over 500. They're 16-15, and then after that, they will go up against the San Francisco Giants for 3 games, and then after that, they go up against the NL leading, or I'm sorry, the second best team in the NL, the New York Mets, over next weekend. So that's a preview of your next 3 series the Chicago Cubs will face. All tough series. Nothing will be easy, but I believe the Chicago Cubs team is better than most people give them credit for, or maybe even think, and they are showing it in every single series. So, tonight's game will feature Ben Brown, who has a 2-2 record with a 6.04 ERA, going up against Quinn Priester, who has a 1-0 record with a 3.79 ERA. So Chicago Cubs are chosen right now, supposedly to win this game. We'll see what this says. I'm sorry, I was wrong when I said Seiya Suzuki has 7 home runs. Seiya Suzuki has 9 home runs. My apology. He is the team leader in home runs right now. My apology. Like I said, but yeah, I'm excited to see what the Chicago Cubs can come up with in this series against the Brewers. We are going to need this series. It will be no easy task, but it would be great if the Chicago Cubs can take 2 out of 3 in this series also. Um, and I mean, it'd be spectacular if we could get, a sweep going in this series. And I don't put it past those Chicago Cubs, because you're going to see Ben Brown. And then after Ben Brown, you get Jameson Taillon against Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana, who is 4-0 right now with a 1.14 ERA. My goodness, he's been dealing so far. And then, of course, on Sunday, it's Shota Imanaga versus Freddie Peralta, who also is a dangerous, dangerous pitcher and has seen a lot of success against those Chicago Cubs. So, again, this series starting tonight is not going to be an easy one. You don't want to look ahead. You want to play every game as it goes, and the Chicago Cubs just got to find success in every game. You like I said, it's another day, another ball game, and you figure it out as you go. And Craig Counsell and company are doing just that. So again, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for Chicago Cubs baseball, and it's an exciting time for all of us. So I appreciate each and every last one of you. Remember to answer the question of the day below. Do you believe Seiya Suzuki has it within him to hit 30 home runs this season? If you do, comment below. Tell me how many. If you think maybe he could hit more, or do you think it'll be less? Tell me where you think Seiya Suzuki lands home run wise this season. I see him stepping into this DH role and really having some success, especially hitting behind Kyle Tucker. I'm expecting a big series for Kyle Tucker up against the Milwaukee Brewers. He has always played Milwaukee very, very well. Again, like I said, you're going to see Freddie Peralta, who's a lefty. You're going to see Jose Quintana, who's a lefty. So I'm excited to see what the Chicago Cubs can do against 2 lefty starting pitchers. And yeah, see what success we can come up with against these guys. So once again, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Well, again, we are steadily growing, steadily trying to grow back our followers. And listen, for what it's worth, you can leave your boy a voicemail at 217-816-5498 or at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. Appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.